John, what's happening, fam?
Hi, how's it going? Thanks so much for letting me be on your show. I appreciate the opportunity to be on the channel, right, to share. So it's called the Playbook Studio, the Playbook, meaning
Correct.
like the wealth of information, the tips and tricks for high performance individuals, right? That's the name, right?
Spot on. Been excited for this conversation for a few days now, but late last year, you were recently named to Forbes Business Council as a fitness industry pioneer. Where does your fitness journey begin?
Many years ago, I'll try to obviously cut it short. I don't want to ramble on too long about my past. It can be a long story. I started as a rugger. I played rugby, loved fitness, being a skinny person. I wanted to get that muscle on, right, to build confidence. And then I want to play competitive sports. You get all empowered by going to the gym. That's something that is, of great benefit of going to the gym and working out is it does give you a lot of physical confidence, which, can turn into mental and spiritual and emotional confidence, right? So I
Sure.
wanted to get into to competitive sports. So rugby, being originally Australian, seemed like a good fit. Rugby, you have to play cricket, you have to surf, or you have to play if you're Australian or play rugby. So I chose rugby, and
Where'd you
but
play
just
at?
I played mostly in Hong Kong.
Okay, very cool.
Very loads of great teams there, lots of league teams there. Being very thin, I think my joints didn't quite agree with the impact. So I remember my very first tour going off with the boys. There's beers going, there's lots of smack talk. I actually popped my shoulder in the first game, and I had like a micro tear, a little fracture on the shoulder bone, and the shoulder was out. The joint was dislocated for quite a long time, so it meant that a lot of bruising, like the tendons were very, very damaged. And it was about like 3 to 4 hours before they were actually able to put it back into the joint. So that
Ooh.
shoulder was out of action for a couple of months. So I had to rehab it, but then I wanted to get back out on the field. I played like 2 games and then I popped the other shoulder. So I was like, all right, no more rugby. We're done. Finish, quit while we're ahead. At least I'm still alive. I don't have like a major injury. So I went into CrossFit. CrossFit was up and coming. It's a new sexy thing to get involved with. It was gym exercise, but it was like done in this sport format with scores and leaderboards and times. You have to try to beat each other's time. And just through repetitive squats, heavy deadlifts, snatches, cleans, jerks, all of that, my knees were getting really badly damaged. Again, I think I've just, been originally a very thin person with very small joints. I was just very prone to injury. And my left knee really took a heavy hit. And from there, I quit. I just couldn't handle the intensity, the high volume and the high load. That's pretty much what CrossFit is at the end of the day. It's just
Yeah.
you have to be very conditioned for it. So I went into boxing and I did amateurs quite well, but just through many impacts to the head, getting punched bang bang into the head, I started to get headaches, and I would get them in these certain spots. I'd have it like really intense here, and then it would go here. It would sort of go to these different areas. I checked the doctor, and he did a full scan, and he saw that there was a tumor in my head. And he
Oh.
said the reason why you had the tumor in your head was because of micro traumas to the brain. So it was
Mm.
would have impacts to the front. It
Yeah.
just would have created, micro traumas would have created this tumor. So it wasn't benign or anything, but it was growing into my brain. So he was like, let's get this out because as it gets bigger, it's going to get more complicated to do the
Yeah.
surgeries.
And what year is this?
Oh man, this has got to be not too long ago. It has to be like 4 years ago. Let's say 4 years ago.
Okay,
So
before COVID.
yeah, way
Before
before.
okay.
Yeah. So I had it removed, stopped doing impact sports, and I went into to bodybuilding, which it's bodybuilding is good. It's very safe.
Sure.
It's just basically dieting. It's very it's a framework that is, it doesn't really mean you'll get. Of course, you may have conditions or health conditions if you're trying to reach a very very high level. But I enjoyed it. It was good. It was fun to compete. You get out there and you do your strut on the stage, but there's no real rivalry. There's no real sort of like me versus you in the ring. Let's see who's the strong. It's that gladiator kind of mentality, which is actually very rewarding if you get into to competitive sports. But through all those injuries and many other ones, I discovered red light therapy from my wife, and she introduced me to this device. It was like a lamp that you would put by your bed, but it was ugly. It was kind of very cumbersome. It looked like something out of Batman's, his lair that he would use to torture his,
Sure.
bad guys. It was a very ugly thing, but it worked.
Uh-huh.
It was putting it on my knee. It helped to make it better. And after about a week, it didn't hurt anymore. So I stopped using it after 2 weeks. But it interested me as to what this was. I thought it was first the heat from the lamp. I didn't know it was the light. It was like, wow, can light be this powerful? What's the whole deal with light? And it kind of went down the rabbit hole of light, not just red and infrared, but also all light therapy. And it's truly like once you get into it and you get
Yeah.
on the light train, it's amazing. You can see
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I'm a big subscriber to, the massive impact light has on human health and biology. So when
Yeah.
did you say you first discovered red light therapy?
So that would have been, that's like 7 years ago, was during that time with the lamp. Yeah. If I'm thinking back, that's like a 6 years ago. My
And
wonderful.
what is your description of red light therapy? I've heard
Oh,
all sorts of different descriptions. Yeah, if you could just describe red
yeah.
light therapy for our audience.
Yeah, because in red light therapy, there's obviously you can talk to a photobiomodulation doctor or scientist, and they'll get into the technical side of it, which is good. It's very appreciated. But how I like to explain it is to other people like me that were competitive. They played some kind of sport. They're injured. They're looking
Sure.
at surgery. They're looking at like creams or like shots or pills, something to help them to be able to compete again. And I say it's very simple. It's something that's natural. It's non-invasive. It's from the sun, right? Don't forget it's from the sun, right? The
Right.
optimal time to get red and infrared light is at sunrise and sunset.
Yep.
I'm, being based in Miami, there's some beautiful sunrises and sunsets. I've lived in Thailand, and that sometimes the sunrise, you just like it's incredible. Like in a sunset, you'll just take photos this is such a
Unreal.
Kodak moment. That is red and infrared light. So the
Okay.
length of the light is at the right measure to be able to penetrate your skin and activate your mitochondria. We're human beings. We're all made up of cells, billions of
Yep.
cells, and the engine, the powerhouse of that cell is the mitochondria. So if you're giving energy to the mitochondria, the cell can do what it's supposed to do, can do its job. So that we get three mechanisms from there. We get increased blood circulation, we get anti-inflammation, and then we get increased ATP. And anti-inflammation, being able to, be a solution for pain in the world is where I like to really talk about red light therapy, because it can do many things. With these mechanisms, you can grow hair, you can
Mm.
boost collagen in your skin. You see the LED masks that are big on TikTok,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. My
You know,
girlfriend has
side and the anti-aging, and it helps your body's SPF levels. It boosts testosterone. There was a famous article, I think it's like 8 years ago. Ben Greenfield wrote this famous
one.
article about how like it boosted testosterone, and all the guys went out and started buying red light therapy products. But it does so many wonderful things, right? And it just shows, it's a vast space that is only now starting to be discovered and studied, and we're benefiting a lot from clinical studies. And now, obviously, there's lots of applications out, of different for different use cases, beauty, anti-aging, and then for me, I focus on pain management.
Love
I
that.
want to talk about red light therapy being a solution for pain, helping deep chronic pain. And it can be, just even delayed onset muscle soreness. When you go to the gym and you train, you get that soreness. It's a very easy fix to be able to recover and then be able to go back into the gym. If you were boxing like me, and you get hit up a little bit, right? Those surface area pains, that's what red light can do. Infrared can go deeper and address chronic pain, a deep like arthritis, pain that, us and our families, our grandmothers and grandpas, right? Where our aunts and uncles and our dads and moms, they deal with this pain, and it's like, oh, I have that pain since I played college ball, that I have to deal with that. And they don't have to. The light can give their cells energy to heal themselves. So the light's not healing you. The light's giving your body energy to heal itself. And it's magical, and it's really moving what it just in my immediate family, with the pain that I've had with my mother, with my father, the things that they've dealt with, and how introducing them to red light therapy, they've been, they found pain, relief, and they've been healed. And it's something that, I just want to share and make sure everybody is aware of, because take, you at least look at something like this that is natural, it's non-invasive, before you look at surgery, or you start, get on meds and you're stuck on meds for the rest of your life. At least try something that, you can literally can't overdose on it. There's no negative side effects to it. But yeah, it's something that I'm trying to shout as much
Yeah,
as I can
yeah.
about.
And then why should people use red light therapy every day?
So just like you need clean water every day, you
Sure.
need healthy food, you need regular exercise, you need movement, you need deep sleep. These are kind of like what's something that we need. As cavemen, we would wake up when the sun would rise. That was our time to wake up, right? Our circadian rhythm would start, and we would go to sleep when the sun set. And we would, sit around campfires at night, right? We would have that light in the evening. But now we're all on our phones, and our circadian rhythm's getting out of whack. Everyone's going into depression and anxiety, and all these issues are coming along, where if you'd be surprised how needed, what a necessity it is to have your daily light. So I, like, for the Lumaflex, for my product, when I wake up in the morning, I want to get the light to my brain. So I look like a superhero.
Amazing.
Like but I'll put it to my head every morning, right? I'll put it to right here to my heart, and I'll put it to my spine, the back of the neck. This is kind of my little protocol.
Okay.
And then I'll put it on my gut, right? The gut brain axis.
And
right?
how long for each? Does it kind of just yeah.
10-minute timer built into the Lumaflex.
Very cool.
The brain only ever needs 10. Usually on the chest, on the heart, sometimes I do double. I do 20 minutes, and on the spine and the gut, I'll double it. But the brain only ever needs 10. But yeah, that's something I do even if I'm not in pain. And I recommend anyone who isn't in pain still get your red light. It's still,
Sure.
you still want to give your cells energy, right? But yeah, that's kind of like the protocol I have. But of course, if I've trained, my legs are sore, I've, been doing something heavy, or like some running, or I've been in the gym and I've, tried to spar, the locals. I've gone a little bit ahead of myself. Then, of course, you aim at the pain. That's what I always recommend.
Yeah. So as a, former boxer, bodybuilder, rugby player, what's your advice to, an up and coming athlete battling those walls of adversity with, pain?
Yeah, I mean, if we're just talking about physical pain, there's a lot of this interest in supplements and I think just my experience. Okay, this is just from my experience. What I would encourage everyone just to look at, address. I'm not saying I'm a guru or I'm a trainer, or, a top coach. In my experience, I would always focus on supplements. I would focus on meal preparation. But what I do now is I focus on really the basics, and it's like the elements. And I got this from a very qualified scientist who sort of said, look, that's kind of the next level. Let's first look at that base level. Make sure you're getting light, make sure you're drinking enough water, make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you ground yourself, put your feet actually on the ground, which is something, I never heard about this growing up as a young kid. And, in my early years competing, I never understood what grounding was, and just actually touching the ground and sort of, not building up this static energy inside your body, right? Which we get from, from all the phones and electrical devices that we are in. But just simple, basic stuff, earthing yourself, getting light, drinking good water. I mean, if we really want to go deep, we can go into structured water, which is something I would encourage everyone to deep dive into. I'm still learning about this, but I feel like when you have those elements set, then what you can start your supplementation, your food preparation, your special hydrating, your ionized water and all of that. That's sort of the second layer.
Right.
But I would encourage everyone, if you do sort of explore the basics and really maximize the basics, you'll be surprised how quickly your body can recover and how you can get back out there and reach that optimal you. You can train well and avoid pain. And of course, you want pain. Pain's important for when you're training. If you go to the gym and you don't feel pain, you kind of feel like you haven't done anything, right? You haven't reached that other level. But if you understand your body and you understand that you can push your level, you can reach, a new sort of standard of weight or of of physical ability, and then you can quickly recover and then achieve that in a shorter amount of time. It's just get to the basics, get the basics down and get them good. That's what I would say.
That's great advice. So that kind of leads into our next topic. You are the CEO and founder of Lumaflex. Can you just give a quick background on what Lumaflex is?
So yeah, Lumaflex is, I kind of credit it to being the world's #1 portable red light therapy panel. So I want to democratize red light therapy. I want everybody to have a red light therapy in their homes. I believe in the future, in little as 5 years, there's going to be at least 3 light therapy devices in every home.
Okay.
So I'm very much into portability. I appreciate big devices that you go to a clinic, maybe you can rent them, or if you have a large panel in your home or a large bed or sauna, I appreciate that. I think it's good, but I'm more of an on-the-go person. I do travel a lot, and I like having something in my bag, used anywhere, on the go, anytime, anywhere. So that's what Lumaflex is. It's focused on portability and creating something that athletes, anybody who's active, whether they be, a pro, NBA player, or your local kid who wants to make the rugby team, or a lady in her late 70s who still wants to hit golf balls. She wants to have something for her back. It's created for the active audience that they can use anytime, anywhere, and they can aim it at an area that they need. So that's the concept of Lumaflex. It was just given just my history as an athlete, the pain that I dealt with, the device that I was using. I wanted to create something that was more suited for me. So I'm more catered towards, active individuals, athletes, or aspiring pro athletes. But of course, it's a device that, with a large enough surface area, anybody can use it, and it can be aimed at your back, your shoulder, your knee. So I could even see mothers using this as they're taking care of kids, or dads, or ladies using this in the workplace just to deal with back
Yeah.
pain, sitting at the desk. Been almost, it's like close to a year launched, but took a number of years to develop the product because it's silicone being something that's extremely durable. This one in particular is called the Essential, but I have
Okay.
another one, the black one, the Body Pro, is fully waterproof.
Mm.
So creating a durable, flexible, portable, waterproof device that can withstand any temperatures was a tall order. So development took some time, but yeah, we're launched. I'm happy about the traction. More products are on the way, but they're all still about they're still telling almost my story as a competitive athlete, catered more to competitive athletes, and always portable. I want things in people's bags, use on the go, not like, oh, I forgot it, I left it there, or oh, I'll get it when I if it isn't tailored to you, you won't use it. You can't
Right.
necessarily,
Right.
have you noticed that, how sometimes how great a product is, you just like, it doesn't fit in your routine.
You want
I've
it in your
noticed.
Haven athletic bag, if you know Haven.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That's where I feel like you'll maximize the use of it. That I really feel it can change people's thinking, about pain management, what to use.
I think it's definitely a game changer for sure. One last thing on red light therapy. What's the most misunderstood thing that you see people think red light therapy is?
Yeah, I think what people misunderstand is how powerful light can be.
Mm. Yeah,
So
that's great.
what they look for is like an immediate change. Like, I'll give an example. You can buy like this deep heat rub. This is something I used to use for my knees all the time, because my
Okay.
knees would be, when I was suffering from that knee injury, it would be so painful. I would use this cream, and it gets very hot. Right now, that heat drives a lot of blood, and I would get relief. It's very temporary, but I would get that relief, and I was like, "Oof, it feels good. This is good enough for me." So it's a temporary relief of pain. It doesn't fix the problem long term, but it's immediate. And
Okay.
people, when they think about light, they want it that immediate, like, fix it now. I want to feel it now. What should I be feeling? Do I feel better? And there are people, and that's the thing. The beauty of the human race is everybody's different. We can all learn from each other's, backgrounds and experiences and cultures and whatnot. But everybody's different. So we'll have people that, after 3 minutes using a device, not even 1/100th of the power of the Lumaflex, will be like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing ever. And then you'll find someone who's like, I've used it for 2 weeks and I don't feel any different. So everybody's different. Everybody's pain levels are different. Their responses are different. So you do need to invest some time. There are times when you do need to, invest some time. Some photobiomodulation doctors, that they're like, encourage your customers, your clients, any feedback, tell them to invest a month. A month, if you want a complete pain relief, you need to be using it every day for a month. So that's the biggest sort of hurdle. That's the thing that everyone, that is it immediate? If it's not immediate, buy. Like, can it warm up? Can it be hot? Because they want the feeling, to help them, their brain to think, okay, this is working. When it's like,
Right.
no, you just need light. You just need the light. You just need the nanometers. Just wait. If it doesn't work, keep doing it again and talk to me in 2 weeks. But yeah,
Are you a big fan of Dr. Jack Cruz?
Dr. Yes.
Yeah. Right?
he's he's like the Gordon Ramsay of biohacking. He's all grumpy all the time. I love him. He's
Yeah,
great.
I listened to one of him and Huberman's podcasts. That was like, I think they did like a 2-part podcast. It was like 4 hours each, but I was just blown away. And then I'm a big believer the sun solves 99%, if not all, of problems.
Amazing, right? It really, when you talk to the right people and they open sort of your understanding a bit, you can really just sit there and be like, wow, why didn't I learn about this before?
Right.
And how deep does this go? And you start getting deeper and deeper in the information. You're just like, wow, how can we package this? How can we share this so that it's digestible? It's understood by the masses, because someone like Cruz, he's good and we appreciate it. But the larger population, they're like, man, that guy's crazy, right? They're just, you need to give them baby steps, so they can slowly intake this. They have actionable things that they can do,
Yep.
to become, more better, right? They can have better lives, happier lives.
That's the goal. So if people go to your Instagram, they see you sparring with guys like Tyson Fury. Who is one athlete or entrepreneur that's influenced you the most throughout your career?
100% Tyson Fury. Tyson
Huh?
Fury is my
Hell
guy.
yeah.
That's he's my guy. And he's been my guy for like a long time, a very, very long time. Like I've had this conversation a lot where we talk about different people that, public figures, whether they be athletes or famous speakers or motivational guys or, famous entrepreneurs. And for me, it's just like someone like Gary, what's his name? Gary V.
Right.
Gary V.
Oh, Gary Vee. Gotcha.
Yeah, Gary, I know what he says is good. I like it, but just the way that he says it, it just doesn't resonate with me. Just the tone of his voice. But I
Right.
think whatever he's saying is good because everyone's like, he's so great, and I'm like, I'm sure he's good, but for something about the way his frequency, it just doesn't work well with me. But then Tyson Fury, the struggles that he's been through in his life, I kind of mirrored a lot of his struggles at the same time. And he would say things. It's very simple. It's total like boxing language. But I was like, yeah, I get that. I get what you're saying. And I love it. Let's grind. Let's go for it. Let's fucking go. He just had a way of communicating to me. Even to this day, I still think he's, the top G. If I could meet 5 people in my life, I would meet Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury, Tyson.
That's amazing. Yeah, I saw you guys got him like a custom Lumaflex, which is
Yeah,
badass.
yeah. I got him. I got, Tommy Fury, James Ward, Spencer Brown, like the whole crew. I've known them for quite a long time. They're they're
Amazing.
good, really good people. Real and of course the father, right? John
Beast.
Fieri.
All
Dad, yes.
right. Well, we're getting to my favorite part of the podcast, which is our Flow Stack series, where we have our guests share the products, brands, gear, apps, and routines that help them level up their game. What is your current Flow Stack?
So I'm a big cold plunge guy. So I don't don't really have a particular brand of cold plunge that I would do. I just like the electric ones because you can set, the
Oh,
cold,
yeah.
set it right. Using ice, I just think is some people are like, oh, it's cool. It's like it's how it should be, and I'm like, yeah, but you have to go buy ice every day, and then you got to like, why not just have an electric one where you can literally put in, this is the temperature now. I'm going to take it up next tomorrow, and then I'll slowly build up. So
Yep.
definitely, I would like it. I love cold plunges. I love them. I love them. Love them. Love. I think they're like a game changer. First thing in the morning to wake yourself up, to get that blood circulation, to get you pumped for the day. I even do it before my workout
Oh,
for the same reason. It's kind of like just a pre-workout, you could say. It's natural, right? And then I do it after my workout, regardless of what I'm doing. If it's boxing or bodybuilding or whatever kind of workout, or CrossFit, whatever I've, stumbled into the gym with the intention of doing, I always do it after. And I just don't ever really get terribly sore. I try to train to get sore so that I know I'm, doing the, progressive overload, but ice baths for days. I'm an ice bath guy. So it's ice baths for me, and then it would be red light therapy. Obviously, the Lumaflex is something that I don't joke around. Like, people. I know people have, when they buy it, or when our influencers have used it. I'm always like, do you use it, right? You use it. Like, I use this all the time. I have it with me all the time. I'm not kidding. I'm not like, oh yeah, buy my product. No. I literally have it all. I have 3 with me all the time. If you check my bag, there'll be 3, and I use them so much, like I should be glowing red. Like I'm, I don't mess around with it. If I feel drowsy, if I got a headache, if I slept wrong, bang, Lumaflex, bang, all the time. So then the other device is a red light therapy device, and it's something that I would encourage everyone to deep dive into. Definitely, if she could be a guest on your podcast and you could do something with her, she's
Sure.
great. So it's Sarah Turner. She's launched a brand called the Sarah Thrive, and
Okay.
it's a gut brain device. So she's a
Oh,
neuroscientist. She's actually a photobiomodulation scientist. Like she's very, very
badass.
credible in the field of red light, and she's building a device that you put it to your brain. Like I've used it. I have it in the office in Miami, and it has frequencies. So it has an app, and it has frequencies of red light. So
Super cool.
focus, relaxation. All these, for all these different outcomes, you can use the app to have the red light. Have these frequencies in your head. So there's a device for the top, and then there's a device for your gut, and then so you're working the vagus vein, the gut brain connection.
Mhm.
And I've had like client dinners where we've gone out, and there's been not just one bottle of wine, but perhaps we'll have another bottle and another bottle. And there's a lot of I've had it, and I've shown up to work the next day, and I'm like, oof, Jesus, I don't like this hungover feeling. And I've done her device for 10 minutes with using those frequencies, and it's like, oof,
Game
um,
changing.
it's game changing. Yeah, it's something like I really love her product so much, and I love what she's trying to do. She has a passion for using red light to cure brain disease. So she wants to do more and more research to be able to cure, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all these terrible diseases that are, for the brain. She wants to use red light to help cure them. And I love this mission, and I support her 100%. And just the device, not like for the frequencies to cure cancer and cure brain disease and all that, that's another thing. But just to boost your cognitive energy and focus, the
Mhm.
device is bang on. Like I really enjoy it. So that was that one. Oh, and then the other one is methionine blue. So these guys here, the best 365 labs. So methionine blue is a mitochondria health tab,
Okay.
and is something that I don't have many supplements anymore. I don't really have. I've got a few here and there, but it's not really something I buy all the time.
Right.
I'm mainly, again, I just stick to the basics. Make sure I get a lot of water, get my red light. Make sure my feet are grounded. I get lots of sunlight, and make sure you go to the beach, get good sleep. But the methionine blue is something that I've been experimenting with for the last say 3 to 4 months, and I would highly recommend everyone to check
Yeah.
methionine blue out. So
Is there a specific brand?
this specific brand is Best 365 Labs.
Okay.
Best 365 Labs. So these guys, I met them at A4M in Las Vegas, which is like a medical conference,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, was like, what does it do? Tell me more. And it works really well with red light.
Okay.
It's a great combo stack. Um, but there are other brands out there, of course. Do your due diligence, find the one that suits for you. But this one in particular. This really helps me just focus. Wake up every day. That's my like. I'm not thinking, oh, where's my coffee? I'm thinking I got to get my methionine blue and I got to get my red light. So that's my other one. So it's basically ice bath. My Lumaflex for easy access, red light anywhere. My Sarah Thrive, and then my methionine blue. I think those are my 4. That's yeah. If someone were to say, what do you, I would say that's it. Everything else is kind of come and go. Don't care. Maybe it's a phase. Maybe I'll do it when I'm traveling. But those are my four core. Those are, you know, never change those.
Amazing. Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that. I'm sure the audience will love that. Where can people find you?
Just hit me up on Instagram, John Graham Fitness. I'm usually quite active there because we get a lot of influencers and athletes. They usually use that medium for communication, or just John at Lumaflex if you email me, and then lumaflex.com for the site.
Amazing. Well, hopefully we can do this again in a few years once Lumaflex is the world's #1 red light therapy device, even though I know it's already on trajectory. And
Yes.
playbooks at episode 300.
Love it, brother. That means a lot. That's projecting, right? Manifesting.
Woo! Spot on. Hell yeah, man. Awesome. Well, enjoy your time at FIBO and talk soon, fam.
Thank you.